Hi everyone and welcome back. Today is Friday and you know Friday is my favorite day because we're going to have our meet and greet after lunch. So make sure you check emails and the classroom for the schedule and the link to our meet and greet. So I'll look forward to seeing you. Please bring your poems because we're going to share some of our poems with our friends today. So I think that will be really fun. So I have another poem today. This one is quite different. We've not had this animal yet. So let's read and see what animal we're talking about. Who's in the big red barn today? Big red barn. I wonder what is in the big red barn. I wonder what's in it for me. It starts with G and rhymes with boat. Oh, what do you think it will be? Well, what starts with a g and rhymes with boat? You're right. It is goat. Wonderful. Now, I know I told you I had a special announcement today, but you're going to have to wait until the end. It's that exciting that we're going to have to wait. It's very exciting. I promise. So for literacy today, we are going to watch a video about a little boy who wants to be a farmer. This is a job he wants to have when he grows up. And he talks about all the wonderful things he's going to do on his farm. So why don't you watch that video and then you can tell me what type of farm you'd like to have. So draw a picture and tell me if you're going to have a vegetable farm and what vegetables you might have on your farm. Or maybe it's an animal farm and what animals will be on your farm. Or maybe it's one of those fun farms that people get to visit and learn about farming. That would be fun too. So tell me what kind of farm you would have if you grew up to be a farmer. There are also 2 books to read, a fiction and a nonfiction, so you have lots to do today. For math, we are going to measure some vegetables. So I'm going to bring you a little closer for this one. Now that we've done our poem. Here you come. All right. So in the links below, they show you measuring some vegetables using non-standard units of measure. So you remember last time we did that, we used paper clips to measure. So we were seeing how long something was by how many paper clips long it was. Well, this time they had a really good idea in the picture, and I thought, well, that's great because beans grow on a farm as well. So I made this ruler out of beans. So I took just dry white kidney beans, and I put a number on each one, and then I put tape on them so they stuck together. So this is 10 beans. So if I measure something that's this long, it's 10 beans long. And it wasn't easy because I taped them together. And I made 2 of them because I have some long vegetables to measure today, so I thought it might be better if we had 2. So the first thing I'm going to measure is this is actually one of my favorites. Do you know what vegetable this is? This is an asparagus, and I love asparagus. It's so yummy. And this is actually the time that it's grown in Ontario, so we're actually buying fresh asparagus from an Ontario farm right now. So I'm going to measure my asparagus, and you tell me how long you think my asparagus is. Oops. So how long is my asparagus? That's right. It is just over 8 beans long. Let's see if I can get something else. Oh, do you know what vegetable this is? This is a zucchini. Let's see how many beans long the zucchini is. So let's get that. What do you think? It's about 8 beans long as well. That must mean the zucchini and the asparagus are about the same size. All right, let's get a trickier one. What's that? That's right, it's a carrot. Carrots come in all sorts of sizes too. So let's see. How long is our carrot? That's right, our carrot is 9 beans long. Oh, how about our tomato? You know, there's a couple ways you can measure something like a tomato. So one way we could do it is we could wrap this around and see if it goes all the way. So it would be, I think you could fit one more bean in there. So I would say that it is 11 beans all the way around. That's called the circumference. And I can see how tall my bean is. My tomato is. So how tall do you think my tomato is? Am I doing the right one? Yes, okay. So it is 2 beans high. There we go. And then my last one that I'm going to do, and I didn't get anything special, just happened to be what was in my refrigerator. And what's this? That's right, it's a cucumber. Now, I'm glad I have 2 of my rulers because I think I might need both to measure my cucumber. So, let's start here. Can you see this? I think you can actually. I'm going to start there. So, how long is my cucumber? So, it stops at the 3 here. So, if this is 10, go 11, 12, 13. My cucumber is 13 beans long. So, you can do this with a ruler. You can do it with your paper clips. You can do it with dried beans like I did, or you could even tape some cereal together too. Lots of different ways you can use non-standard units of measure. You just have to always use all the same thing. So I couldn't have a paper clip, a bean, a Cheerio, all different things because they aren't all the same size. So you take things that are all the same, and if you put them together, you can measure using that. All right, I have a science experiment. I'm very excited about it. Some of you might want to do it at home. So at one point I'm going to tell you to turn the video off. Then you can go do your experiment and then you can come back. All right? So here is my science experiment. I have a glass of milk and I have some popcorn. I'm going to put this behind so you can actually see it maybe a bit better. Oh, I have something I can put behind. I'll tell you about that later. Alright, so now you can see my popcorn. So my popcorn is just framing out of my cup, so it's even bigger than my cup. And my milk is just a regular glass of milk. So the website I've given you today is there were some little boys who wondered what would happen if they tried to fit all of this popcorn into this glass of milk. And I thought, well, milk comes from a farm, corn comes from a farm, so what a fun experiment that might be. So think for a minute, what do you think will happen if I try and put all of these popcorns in this milk? What will happen? So there's a couple of things that could happen. They might sink, they might float. What else could happen? You try and think of something. Oh, it could overflow and make a huge mess. Okay, well, should we find out? Okay, if you're going to do the experiment, you can stop the video now and come back later. Or you can come and watch with me and you still can do the experiment on your own. So let's see, I'm going to put them in kind of one at a time. So what do we see them doing? Looks like they're kind of floating, going down a little bit. Does the milk look like it's going higher? Maybe I should put a little mark here where our milk was. Can you see that mark? Probably will. I'll bring the iPad closer so you'll be able to see. So these two glasses were the same size, but I wonder why the milk is not getting any higher. Usually when you put something in liquid, it gets a little higher. Keep putting it. I've emptied all of my popcorn into my milk. And you saw me do it, right? It's not a magic trick. I'm going to bring this closer. Do you see that line? That is how high the milk was when we started, when there was no popcorn in it. I put all of that popcorn in, and it's still the same. That's very strange. All right, so this actually works with any liquid. You could do it with apple juice, you could do it with milk, you can do it with water, you could do it with lemonade or orange juice. Any liquid will work. So if you have some popcorn, and I just popped the kernels, it will work. Do you want to know why it happens? Well, popcorn, if you know the little kernels, they're very small, and when we pop them, they pop because they get filled with air. Because that's what happens when you put them into the air popper or the popcorn maker. They get filled with air, and then they pop, and then it's nice and fluffy. So when I put the popcorn in the milk, all the air kind of gets pushed out, and the liquid takes up that space. So it is it's getting soggy. You certainly wouldn't want to eat the popcorn now. It's very soggy popcorn, but that's what happens. So basically the popcorn is absorbing all of the liquid like a sponge. So you can try that. You can try it with any liquid and it will still work. So I thought that was a really fun experiment to do with some things that we would find on a farm. Okay, it's time for the big announcement. So this is a really important announcement. So I want you to go and run and get mom or dad if they're not with you. I'll give you a minute to do it, and you can always rewind a bit if they don't get here in time. But it's really important that mom and dad see this too, because this is a pretty important announcement. In their email, Ms. Chang, our principal, sent out an email to all the families saying that next week you can come into the school. Actually, not you, maybe mom or dad will come into the school to get all your things. You know, all the things you left in your cubbies. You had your shoes, you had your extra clothes. Some people left their water bottles, things like that. You left them in your cubbies, and we want to get them back to you. So I put all your stuff into a bag. So all you have to do is outside our classroom, there's a bag with your name on it. But there's something else in there. You're going to see something like this. Okay? It's a nice looking bag, isn't it? It almost looks like a present. But there's a label on it. See if you can read that label. It says, no peeking. That means do not open it. Not yet, because on the last week of school, we're going to have our meet and greet. But this time, we're going to have the whole class come. And we're going to have a party. So everything in here is what you need for our party. So this is, I call this the end of the year party in a bag. So it is filled with everything we need for our activities and our little games and our puzzles and all the fun stuff we're going to do is all in here. So you can't open it until we have our party. Everyone's going to open it at the same time. So do you think you can do that? Do you think you can put this away and not think about it for a little while? And then on the day of our party, which will be in our Google Meet, you can open it. We'll all open it together and we'll be able to do all the activities, and that's what we'll do for our party. Really fun stuff. So this is going to be in there. There's also going to be a big brown envelope. Don't open that either. That's for the party. So we put labels on saying do not open. So please try and show some self-control so that we can all open it together, and it'll be really fun to have at our party. All right, so that was my big announcement about the class party, about coming into school to picking things up. There's a lost and found, so you can get if anything you left behind that we didn't know who it belonged to, look on the table. Everything is outside. There's nothing inside that you need. And if you have anything for me, so if you have any books from our classroom or you have any library books, you can put them in the bin outside our classroom. And I will put those back in the right spot for you. You can keep your agendas, and I think that's about it. If you've got your poetry, most of you have your poetry book at home, so please keep that as well. And I think that's it. So it's just a time for you to bring in our books that you have borrowed and to bring back and for you to pick up your things so that we don't have them over the summer. I know some of you probably want your shoes and your extra clothes, and there are quite a lot of water bottles in there as well. So that was my big announcement. I'm going to be in and out next week, so maybe I will see you, maybe I won't, but you know, it's so fun because we get to see each other all the time anyway. So here's what I need you to do, because I want to make sure that everyone knows not to open this. I want, if you've seen this, I want you to tell me in the comments, and I want you to say, I will not open my bag. Because if I don't see your name there, then I have to email your family separately, so I make sure that everyone's gotten the same message. Okay? So, in the comments below, you need to promise me that you will not open this bag till our class party. Alright? And I'll send out all the details for that soon. Okay? Alright, I hope you have a great day. I'm going to see you after lunch, so don't forget to come to the meet and greet. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.